Wow, that's a lot of views. Let's talk once again about how to cop on the Nike Snkrs app. If you guys learned something from this video, make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button down below if you love sneaker content. And make sure that you guys leave a comment down below in the comments. Just interact with this video. Don't forget to share this video so that more people can learn the Nike Snkrs app and how to cop on the Nike Snkrs app. Be sure to give me a follow on Instagram as well. I am giving away a pair of Royal Toe Jordan 1s on my Instagram. We do giveaways on Instagram for sneakers, so make sure you guys give me a follow. Now, let's talk about how to cop on the Nike Snkrs app. Part 2. So I've learned some new things, I've got new techniques. Let's get straight into this. The first thing I want to talk about is accounts. Having multiple accounts. The more accounts you have on the Nike Snkrs app, the better to increase your chances. What I have been doing, and I recommend you guys do, I don't feel like people talk about this enough at all, is having multiple devices. And not just, your mom, dad, sister, brother, niece, nephew, aunt, uncle, cousin. Besides those people having accounts for you running as well, have more accounts yourself. But here's the trick. Phones. Multiple phones. This is my daily phone, my iPhone, right here. This is an Android phone that I bought for cheap. You can go online on eBay, buy cheap iPhones, buy cheap Android phones, and download the Nike Snkrs app. On each phone, have an account with different information. What I mean by that is don't be using the same account for every phone, right? Do not use the same credit card information. Do not use the same email address. None of that. Let every account be its own person and have its own information. If you only have one address, you can jig that. Put in apartment, put in APT, spell out apartment. Even if you don't live in an apartment, it'll still work even if you live in a house. You could spell out the word street. You could put ST for street, avenue, AVE. There's so many different ways that you can jig your address to where it's just a computer system that's checking these things, and you're still gonna get your shoes. They're not gonna think you're a bot. Nike does filter out bots. I'm going to tell you guys some more tips and tricks, so make sure you stick around on how to make sure and increase your chances of Nike not thinking you're a bot. If Nike thinks you're a bot, it's over. Your account is done for. I'm going to tell you guys how to avoid that in this video as well. So yes, make sure you guys go on eBay, check locally. You don't got to spend a lot of money on phones. You don't have to. I look at it this way. If you spend 50, 60 bucks on a phone and say you buy 5 of them, right? Say you spend 250 bucks, $300 on, say, 5 phones that you're not really going to use other than for Snkrs app. All it really takes is that one big release, like this, to go flip that and get your money back for the phones, and now everything else is profit or increases your chances of copying for retail, if it's for personal, anything like that. So at the end of the day, having multiple phones is really just an investment. Have multiple phones for yourself. I have these 2 phones right here. I have another phone that's actually behind the camera over there, and I also have an iPad as well. All these really do help. They increase my chances. Now, I am not on Wi-Fi on any of the devices except for one, and that device is usually my computer. On phones, I like to stick to LTE. You can stay on Wi-Fi on, I would say, 2 or 3 of them max. Other than that, don't forget you can tether off of your phone and cause a brand new Wi-Fi for other devices. So don't forget to do that as well. Tethering is a big thing that can really help you as well. So multiple phones is a great way to increase your chances of copying. Having different email addresses as well, of course, to different accounts, different phone numbers. Each phone will have its own phone number. If you do not connect the phone to the internet because you don't want to pay another monthly bill, then what you can do is you can download third-party apps to get you a phone number. Google being one of them. They allow you to have an external phone number on the phone, and next thing you know, you're a verified Nike account, you're good to go. So think of getting multiple phones as an investment, that's the point, and it really will help increase your chances of copying. Now, when you have multiple Nike accounts, let me show you guys of some things that I like to do on each account. A profile picture. Have a profile picture on each account, right? Because a lot of accounts out there, most in fact, don't have a profile picture, and it's a lot easier for Nike to figure out if you're a bot or not, whether you have a profile picture or not. Because if you do not have a profile picture, odds are there's a decent chance you could be a bot. Nike would think you're a bot because people are not going to spend all this time uploading photos onto the app right? To have a profile picture to think that you're not a bot. What I recommend doing is on each account, take a photo of you, a shoe, something, and upload it onto the Snkrs app as your profile picture so that it's less likely to be picked up as a bot. So for each Nike account on these phones, I also make sure my payment and address are different. I never use the same payment information for more than just one account. Personally, that's the way I like to do it. I do think you might be able to get away with doing it 2 or 3, but I don't personally like even taking that chance. I recommend just doing one account, one different payment method per account. It's the best way to do it. If you don't have multiple payment methods, which you can do, Apple Pay is its own payment method. PayPal is its own payment method. Credit card, each card, debit card, credit card is its own payment method. If you need more cards for more accounts, there's ways you can do that. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but there are different ways of getting multiple credit card numbers under the same one bank account. You guys can figure that out and do that. That will help you out as well. Now, there's one thing I've been playing with back and forth, and I'm not really sure if it does anything, and that's putting in my password or not. I've been testing it back and forth, back and forth. Sometimes I cop, sometimes I don't. Look, I still take L's. Nothing is guaranteed on the Snkrs app, right? But on Face ID, on my main phone here, I usually, right now, I have it off. Sometimes I do have it on, sometimes I have it off. Some of these devices I use don't even have face recognition or even have Touch ID, so you have to put in the password, which is cool for those phones. You can get phones like that. Don't be afraid where you just need Touch ID or Face ID. That's not true. You can put in your manual password, but remember your password because you only have most of the time 2 or 3 minutes to really cop. If it's a 10-minute draw, you have more time, 10 minutes to put in your entries on your accounts, but you don't want to be sitting there fumbling around with passwords, not knowing your password. So if you have many accounts, I recommend writing these things down on your main phone so you know what your passwords are. Now, what I like to do on each Nike account, every account, what I like to do is check the stories, you know, browse the feed, make sure that you're actually a legit person. They want to see that you're an actual legit person and not a bot, because once again, if Nike thinks you're a bot, it's a wrap. You're not getting anything ever. They're going to ban your account completely without you even really knowing about it. So make sure that you check the stories. Here's a story that just came out for me to check, right? I haven't checked this one. I'm going to view it. Just let it play. You know, let it play, look through them. A lot of these stories are interesting. You might learn a thing or two, which is cool about the Nike Snkrs app. There's a lot that goes on the Nike Snkrs app. There's a lot of pictures, a lot of videos, a lot of things to really check through, right? So view the stories. At the end of the day, you're really just showing Nike that, hey, I'm a real person. I'm not a bot, right? I'm a person. I have activity on my account. Let me get these shoes. So that's what you want to go ahead and do. Another thing I want to tell you guys is that if you do take an L, that does actually help your chances of copying the next release. So if you take an L, you know, it sucks. So if you do wind up taking an L, yes, it sucks, but don't give up, right? You got to be in it to win it. So if you do take an L, try for the next release because you will eventually hit. If you guys keep chasing, you will hit, right? It's only a matter of time before you actually hit on the Snkrs app. Be in it to win it and don't give up. Now, during a release, I wish I could show you guys this right now. I can't, there's no release going on, but during a release, do not close out of the Snkrs app. Stay on the app. And what I want to tell you guys is that when it pops up that they're sold out, click OK and go back. Most of the time, you're able to retry. And it's been happening to me where that's been happening, where I've been getting an L at first. I click back, I go again, and then about 20, 30 seconds later, got them. That can happen. So make sure that you don't give up on the Snkrs app and don't just say, hey, you know, the first L is there. Oh, it's over with. I'm going to close out the app. No, don't do that because they might still be there. You might be able to put another entry in and actually cop. Now, some more activity is hit notify me. You know, that's obviously a given. You want to be notified of products. Like Nike just wants to see that you're a human being. Like I said, they want to make sure that you're not a bot. If there's polls, like there's a poll right there, just click one of them. You know, it doesn't really matter. I just picked one of the polls right there, clicked on it. I'm just showing Nike, look, Nike, I'm a person. Let me cop, you know, check the stories, all that stuff. It really does help. It increases your chances a little bit, and it'll help, man. It'll really help. So you have multiple phones, multiple devices for yourself. You, of course, want to ask your brother, sister, niece, nephew, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, everybody you know with a phone to download the Snkrs app, put in their phone number, and help you on release day. It will help you. You'll eventually cop that way as well. And sometimes if there's some decent resale on the shoe, depending on who it is that's getting them for you, you might have to give them a few dollars It is what it is. If they're not really into shoes, they should be able to just give you them for retail for what they pay. But if they know that it's going for some decent money, you might gotta toss, you know, your brother or, you know, your family member a few dollars. Not a big deal as long as you're getting the shoe for way under market still. Maybe pay a little over retail, but as long as it's not resale price, I mean, that's still a W. One thing a lot of people don't talk about is size. What size should I go for? Size matters. Size does matter on sneaker releases. If, let's just say, you're going for a pair of Jordan 1s, for example, that's a woman's exclusive, they're gonna make more pairs of the smaller sizes than they are the bigger sizes on women's exclusives, because it's a women's exclusive. They'll give it to, say, size 12, but there's not going to be a lot of size 12s out there, because that's a men's 10.5, a real common size. They make less of the bigger sizes in women's exclusives, for example, and more in the smaller sizes. On men's pairs, it's usually the opposite. Once again, this varies from release to release, and grade school is usually the most limited. You know, it depends on the release once again, but Jordan 1s, for example, grade school tends to be the least amount of pairs made. Grade school is pretty tough to cop in comparison to men's. You do have a greater chance of copying men's than grade school. But with that said, don't give up. Grade school, a lot of people don't know this for some reason. Grade school is always scroll down. Scroll down at the bottom, you'll see grade school on the release. So when there's a men's pair at the top, when you click on the shoe, scroll down and you'll see the grade school. Make sure you put entries in for grade school as well. When it comes to grade school pairs, the higher the size, the bigger the size, the more pairs they make. But usually with that comes more hype. So you gotta really pick and choose what size you're gonna go for. At the end of the day, guys, Nike sells these shoes, no problem. They're always gonna sell out, and you really have to be in it to win it. Size does matter. It really does come into effect on the release. It varies from release to release. Now, if you're pending for more than, I would say, 10 to 15 minutes on the Snkrs app, usually that means an L. You still have a slight chance, but usually that means L. And it won't show up. It still says pending. What I recommend doing, close out the app, force close the app, reopen it, and within a few minutes, if not immediately, it'll say an L. Guys, if you're pending for, like I said, more than 10, maybe 15 minutes, it's an L. I do have a few more tips very quick, and then we're going to wrap up this video. I do want to tell you guys to uninstall the app a day or two before. Yeah, I've been doing that, and I've been getting some decent W's. Download the app, delete it the day before the release, and then re-download it morning of. Make sure you wake up in time, but make sure you download it again morning of, and then go straight into the release. You'll have a little bit, I think, a higher chance of copying. Little secret there, but yeah, go ahead and do that. Also, one more nice tip is on each device, clear your history. Clear your internet history completely on your phone. Everything. Wipe everything out. Your whole cache, cookies, all that stuff. Wipe that stuff out on your phone before the release. You want to do that because any bad cookies, any bad history, anything like that could delay you or stop you from getting these shoes taking a W. So make sure you wipe all of that out before the release as well. One more last and final thing I do want to tell you guys is that, of course, you have all your devices. Don't forget about Nike.com/launch. Make sure you're on the site as well, because the Snkrs app is not perfect. Neither is Nike.com/launch, but if you have both, greater chance of making sure you get your entries in and greater chance of copying. So there you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Give me a follow on Instagram for some sneaker giveaways. We got a giveaway going on for the Royal Toes. Make sure you guys check that out. More sneaker giveaways on the way. More content on the way. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, share this video. Get this video out there. Hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment, and don't forget to join the More family and click that subscribe button down below. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys join the More family. Hit the subscribe button, smash that like button. We're always on the grind. We're never gonna stop. Always dropping that fire. Straight fire. Thank you guys so much for watching. We out.